Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend, and I am so excited to kick off this week with you all exploring animals. And I have to tell you, one of my favorite types of animals is sea animals. And I picked out a very special book that I like to read to my kids in my classroom called Clark the Shark. And this is the book that we are going to read. It's a little long, so I would get comfy wherever you are, whether you're eating breakfast or sitting on the couch or laying in your bed. We're going to read it, and then I have a little activity for you for after the book. So this is Clark the Shark, written by Bruce Hale. He's the one who writes the words and creates the book, and illustrated by Guy Francis. He is the one who draws the pictures. So he created Clark the Shark. In all the wide blue seas, in all the wide blue world, the top school for fish was Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. And of all the fish at Theodore Roosterfish, the biggest, the strongest was Clark the Shark. There he is. Clark loved school, and he loved his teacher, Mrs. Inky Dink. He loved to play upsy-downsy and spin-a-majig with his friends. Clark loved his life. School is awesome, shouted Clark the Shark. Less shouting, more reading, said Mrs. Inky Dink. Lunch time is sweet, yelled Clark the Shark. Munch your own lunch, said his best friend, Joey Mackerel. Recess rocks, bellowed Clark the Shark. You are playing rough, Clark, cried the other fish. Yes, Clark loved his life with all of his sharky heart. But he loved everything way too much. He was too loud. He was too wild. He was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Shark. No one ate lunch with him. No one sat with him at circle time. Even his friend, Joey Mackerel, said, "Cool your jets, Clark. You're making me crazy." One day, Clark asked Mrs. Inky Dink, "What's wrong with everyone?" Mrs. Inky Dink patted his fin. "Clark, sometimes you play too hard. You munch too hard, and gosh, you even play too hard." "But life is so exciting," said Clark. "There's a time and place for everything," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "and sometimes the rule is stay cool." At recess, Clark tried to stay cool, but he pushed the swing with too much zing. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "Yikes!" cried Joey Mackerel. At lunch, Clark tried to stay cool, but everything smelled so good that he munched a bunch of lunches. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "We're starving," said his friends. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. "Now, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "this isn't the time or the place. Tell me, what's the rule?" "Stay cool," said Clark. "Hey, that rhymes," he cried. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. "Maybe, if I make a rhyme, I'll remember every time," he thought. The next day, he put his plan to work. In class, when lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, "When teacher's talking, don't go walking." And what do you do now? And what do you know? It worked! "Attaboy, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun. At lunch, everything smelled so yummy. When Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, "Only munch your own lunch." And it worked again. "Way to go, Clark," said his friends. Clark grinned. Lunch is fun. At playtime, Clark told himself, "Easy does it, that's the way. Then my friends will let me play." And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life. But then a shadow fell across the playground. A ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. "It's a new kid, and he looks scary," cried Joey Mackerel. "Swim for your lives!" The squid squashed the slide, and it snapped off the swings. "Oops, my bad," said the new kid. "Wait," said Clark. "He just wants to play. Let's find a way." And he swam at the new kid with all his might. Clark played harder than he ever had before, upsy-downsy and spin-a-majig. Why, he even made up a new game, Tail Womp a Lumpus. "Wow, that was fun," said the new kid breathlessly, and he settled down. "If you want to come to school, you've got to stay cool," said Clark. "That's right, Clark," said Mrs. Inkydink. "And thanks for taking care of our new classmate, Sid the Squid." "Hooray for Clark the Shark!" everyone cheered. That night, Clark's mother asked, "What did you learn at school, dear?" "There's a time and place for everything," Clark said. "Sometimes you stay cool." But sometimes a shark's gotta do what a shark's gotta do. I like how he taught the new friend what he learned from Mrs. Inkydink of staying cool. And he welcomed him in and played with him when he first entered, and then gave him the same advice that she did by staying cool. I like that. So, in that book, as you were probably reading along with me, did you notice all the different sea animals that he goes to school with? Because I noticed the shark and the octopus at the end. There's lots of different fish and jellyfish, pufferfish, crab, lots of sea. Oh, this is a good one. Look at all these fish, little jellyfish. So, part of this book, of an activity you can do with it, is I made my own little fish school. You can see it, it's a little dark, a little bright. I made my octopus, I have a little shark there, a whale, I have some snake, crab, fishies, turtle, and I taped it onto this clear baking sheet. This one's glass, you don't have to use glass. I think a cake pan would work really well because it'd be bigger. And you can create your little school of sea fish in here. And something that would be really fun that you can do is I have a jar of water. I probably put 3 little drops of blue food coloring. I wanted the water to stay a little light so that I could still see my animals at the bottom. And you can put it in here. And maybe something you can do to go along with the book and staying cool is putting some ice cubes in it that will float around like little icebergs inside. And then what you can do is you can get little sea animals, or you can get any other kind of animals. You don't have to do only sea animals. I just had a couple sea animals at my house. A little frog and my turtle. And you can play with it in here. And you can switch it up. You can make a different school of fish on here. And for the younger ones, like infants and toddlers, something you can do to help is either you can help draw the sea animals and they can color them, or you can get stickers. That can go for preschoolers as well. They can kind of make whatever they'd like, and you don't have to do the animals at the bottom. You can still just make a tray with some sea animals. You could do other animals. I know I had some dinosaurs. I think they would have some fun. And then something you can do is you can take this outside, and I think that would be really fun, and getting a really big bin and playing outside when it gets warmer and exploring the different sea animals. And I think it would be awesome. So I'm so excited for you guys to make your own little sea sensory tables. And I'd love to see pictures and the different creations you create and the different sea schools that you make out of your paper and tape to your tray. I'm excited. Can't wait. Have fun.